Shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Yahweh Kakodash, Yahweh, which is the one and true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one and true name is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Shai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach Arazakah from the servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. This lesson is going to be titled as Examine Yourself as you're in the ministry. All right, examine yourself as you're in the ministry. You know, and the reason why I titled this lesson is because, we just got done having the Passover. I mean, it's not over. We still got 7 more days. But it's a high time to examine yourself while we're in the this 7-day period of the Passover. So because there's going to be a lot. there's going to be a lot of individuals that's going to be brought out. After this Passover, a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of shifting is going to occur. So you as an Israelite, a so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American Indian, you want to really examine yourself as we're going through these 7 days of not eating unleavened bread and passing through the Passover. All right, because there's going to be a shifting that's going to occur. It has happened many times since I've been in the truth. It has happened many times. All right, and there's a lot of shifting going on. So we are to examine ourselves more, during this Passover period, because there is a shifting that's going to occur, and you're going to see it. Well, one, we pray that we're not those individuals to be shifted out of the truth. And I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. So I'm going to read some scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Now the precept I'm going to get out is I'll start with 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. It says 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith, whether you be in the faith. All right, because even though, you may be in a camp, or you may be a Jake that's just, you're in the truth, but you don't have brothers around you, but you're in this, you're partially alone, when you're going out there teaching, So, while you're in this ministry, all right, you are to examine yourselves whether you are in the faith. You want to examine yourself. You want to watch how you talk on camera. You want to watch how you present yourself on camera. All right, because we are those examples. Yahweh Shai was that example. He was a perfect example on how to be in the ministry. I'm going to get that precept out right now in a minute. But you as an Israelite, a so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American Indian, you're really to examine yourself. All right, and when you go into the meaning of that word examine, which I'm going to get out right now. Examine. It means inspect someone or something in detail to determine their nature or condition. Investigate thoroughly, inspect. So that's how you got to be. You got to examine yourself, inspect yourself, right, into detail. Look at how you are in the ministry. Are you doing things decently and in order? Are you bringing things out correctly? Are you breaking the scriptures down correctly, right? Are you really studying to show yourself approved? Inspect yourself. Look at things with yourself in the ministry. What is it that you're lacking in that you can work on? All right, what is it here that I may need? What is it there that I might need to fix on with myself? I'm speaking for myself first and foremost when I give examples in this video. That's how I look at myself on a daily basis. What is it more that I need to do on myself? Because just because you're in the truth, don't think that you don't need to. Don't think that you ain't lacking anything. All of us is lacking something. Whatever it is. It can be faith. It can be on your faith. You can be having a doubtful spirit on you. It can be with exhortation, right? It can be with what is it? You being diligent, right? It can be with you, whatever it is, whatever it is. Each and every one of us individually is lacking something, all right, and that's something that you want to build up. And one way to build up is to look at those areas and fix them. You may be a Jake that may have a emotional spirit on you. You may be a Jake that get emotional. You may be a Jake that's a brother can be correcting you, and you may have you may be pumped up in the flesh to be prideful. All right, there's the brothers have different weaknesses. You gotta look at that. Could it be me? Giving too much time to this woman? Is she a distraction for me? That we all have weaknesses in the ministry, so you want to examine yourself. All right, you want to really break yourself down as a man of the Lord and see what you can fix, how you can be, how you are to teach the ministry, right? Following the elders of Paul's Reed Millstone, are you teaching the word in truth and sincerity? These are things that I ask myself. I'm just bringing out the questions that I ask myself on a daily basis when I tune into the lives of the elders, or I look at brothers and how they're teaching, their ministry. I always look at myself, okay, I go over what I need to go over, It's lucky for the rambling. So inspect someone or something in detail to determine their nature and or condition. Investigate thoroughly. So investigate yourself. Look at the things that you're lacking in and try to strengthen those areas, man. All right. Am I spending too much time, working? Do I need to be doing more lessons? Am I not being tuned into the live streams? Am I taking notes like I should be? Because things get in the way. We go through things at work. We got school. Some of us are going to school. We got work. We got all these things. But we always got to remember to continually sustain in a ministry. Keep examining yourself. Don't think because you're in the truth that you ain't lacking nothing. All of us is lacking something. We in these mortal bodies, man. Let's get back to that precept, 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves. So examine yourself. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. Whether ye be in the faith. So whether you're in the faith, examine yourself. Inspect yourself. Investigate yourself. It's easy to go and get to know somebody, but you need to get to know yourself in the ministry. Look at the things, what can you strengthen or fix? Because we all lacking something, man. We're all lacking something, brothers. It says, prove your own selves. See, prove your own selves. All right? We're proving ourselves worthy in the eyes of Yahweh Bashimashai. This is a spiritual battle between yourself. Prove your own self. Because you got to show yourself individually worthy in the eyes of the Lord, right? We're working out our salvation with fear and trembling, right? So you got to prove of your own selves. Prove your own selves. Show yourself worthy in the eyes of the Lord. So we all individually are working out our salvation. So while we're in this ministry, we have to examine ourselves. We have to look at the things that we need to work on with ourselves in the truth. That's what it's all about. It says, know ye not your own selves. See, how that Yahweh Shai is in you, except ye be reprobates. And when you look up reprobate, it means rejected. Because the Lord can take the spirit from you, And I said this many times before. I know brothers getting tired of me saying this. But just because you're in a camp, that doesn't mean that you're the elect. And just because you're a Hebrew Israelite, that doesn't mean that you're the elect. Because you got jakes that have that mindset. They come into the truth and, they be like 6 months to a year in this thing and they just, I'm of the elect. I know I'm of the elect. No, you don't know you're the elect. We're working out our salvation. We're building ourselves on a daily basis, fixing ourselves, coming out of the world, the naive ways of this society, building ourselves up and conducting ourselves as Israelite men according to the scriptures, right? And we're following the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Those men are perfect examples as well on how to be in a ministry. They teach us not to be emotional, not to be carnal, right? Through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh was that perfect example. All right, he was that perfect example. So we got to be as how Yahweh Shai was when he was on the earth, man. He's a perfect example. So you want to examine yourself in the ministry, examine yourself in the truth. Look at your weaknesses. Look at things that you can fix, that you need to fix. So like, you know, you're trying to fix, you're trying to get better in. You know, you ain't gonna be this perfect man of the Lord. That's not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm telling you to do is fix on the things that you know that you need to work on, man. All of us know the things that we need to work on. It can be charity, you know, being there for brethren, speaking to more brothers, you know, lifting them up. It can be, again, with faith. It can be with, you being diligent, right? We have different things. Each and every one of us, you know, we're not all going to be having the same exact weaknesses. In other words, man, or things that we lack in. Each brother lacks something. Whatever it is, it's between you and Yahweh Shemashai. All right, the world doesn't have to know what you lacking in. All right, that's for you. That's between you and Yahweh Shemashai. But I'm saying individually, you need to work on those things that you know what you need to work on. That's what I'm saying. So hopefully, you know, if I'm not confusing, you know, if I am, you know, comment and let me know, you know, so I can reiterate, you know, to your understanding. Salaki. It says Romans 1:28. Romans 1:28, it says, even as they did not retain Yahweh Shemashai in their knowledge, and this is what has happened to a lot of individuals. They didn't retain Yahweh Shemashai in their knowledge. As a matter of fact, we're going to get out that word retain. Okay? Retain. It means continue to have something, keep possession of, right? Absorb and continue to hold a substance, right? So we learned this truth, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai, through his men, who are the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. All right? They didn't continue. You had jakes that were in Great Millstone that either got kicked out or they fell out. They didn't retain. They didn't continue, right? In this truth. They didn't continue. But the Lord set that up, right? The Lord, has a lot for each and every one of us individually that we have to play out, and we don't know it. This is why, again, like we were saying, when we had to sit down, when we had our sit down, and while we were at camp, you don't know what your lot is. You have to play it out. Lord willing, the Lord keep us retaining in the ministry, because, hey, everything is of Yahweh Shemashai, and this is why, again, you got to be asking the Lord for mercy. We all need to be asking the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, for mercy, man, including myself. Because Lord willing, we are that elect, right? Romans 1:28, it says, and even as they did not retain Yahweh Shemashai in their knowledge, Yahweh Shemashai gave them over to a reprobate mind, right? The Lord took the spirit from individuals. You had men that was in this truth 9 years, 10 years, 15 years, right? And then through time, the Lord just takes the spirit from them. Brothers was probably doing things that they weren't examining on every day. They weren't looking over on every day. All right. For example, you get your car fixed every month, right? You get your oil change every month. To get your car checked. To get your brakes fixed, right? To get your oil change. To get your rotors fixed. You get your spark plugs done, right? Your thermostat. You get all that done on your car every month, right? Everything is checked so you can have a good car, good conditioned car to get to work and back, right? So you got to be like that 10 times more in the ministry. You got to be checking yourself. All right. What am I lacking in? Hey, if you don't know what you're lacking in, write down the things, that, those are the basic things. I'll write down faith. Let me see faith. Read some scriptures on faith. Am I having a problem with faith? Diligence. Am I diligent? All right. What else is that I need to examine on? Exhortation. Am I doing that? Right? Humility. Am I humble? Right? This is what examining is all about. Because when you do those things, I'm telling you, brothers, when you do those things and you look at those things, and you're gonna know what what you lack in, man. You're gonna know. It could be pride, man. You could be a Jake that say you're not prideful, but when a brother really tells brother something and it fucks with your flesh, okay, yeah, I got the pride demon. I need to get that in order, because a brother can be saying it to the whole group, and then that one brother feels that it's being directed towards towards him. You got a pride demon on you. That's something that you gotta work on. Hey, when you get rebuked, things like that. It's easy to talk about things and do lessons on stuff, but when it comes your way, you can't get upset. And I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. These are the things that I work on. Humility, to me, humility is one of the biggest things I try to keep. Not keep, but I pray the Lord keep me in. Because that's the main thing that always look at for myself is humility, man. Trying to be more humble. I'm humble, but I want to be more humble. Because again, like the elders and apostles, great millstone said, the longer you are in your journey, the more humbler you want to be. The more longer you're in your journey, the more humbler you want to be. Because you got jakes that come into this thing, they get 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then they just start, the pride come on there. Well, I've been in the truth this long, I don't need to take orders from nobody. I've been in the truth. Nah, it don't matter. You want to be humble. You want to be sincere, right? This is Romans 1:28. And even as they did not retain Yahweh Shemashai in their knowledge, see, they didn't retain Yahweh Shemashai in their knowledge. Brothers got emotional, right? They fell out. They couldn't take rebuke. They got kicked out, right? They start speaking against Yahweh Shemashai, speaking against the men of the Lord. Because once you speak against the men of the Lord, you're speaking against Yahweh Shemashai, That's what happens to a lot of Jakes, because the Lord speaks to his men. So when you speak against his prophets, right, you speaking against Yahweh Shemashai. It says Yahweh Shemashai gave them over to a reprobate mind. The Lord took the spirit from them. He took the spirit from them. And the scariest thing is the Lord can put a spirit on you to have you think that you're teaching the truth, and you can be teaching totally false doctrine, because that can happen. The Lord can take the spirit from you. He can take your gift and give it to someone else. This is why I always say, if you're a Jake that's in the truth and you've been in the truth 6 months and above, you are to use your gift. If you're not using it, you can be that individual where the Lord will take the spirit from you and give it to someone else. You don't want that. I wouldn't want that. This is why you want to be self-examining and really looking at yourself in the ministry. If you've been in this truth a year, 2 years, that's awesome. Now you got to do more examining. Now you got to do, more humility, things like that. Because the 1 to 2 years, when you hit 1 to 2 years, that's when your flesh and things like that start coming to you all at once. Things start intensifying. Situations start occurring. It's shifting season right now. So more examining. I'm speaking for myself. It says gave them over to a reprobate mind. And again, that word reprobate means rejected. All right. The Lord took the spirit away. It says, and to do those things which are not convenient, right? You got guys teaching that the MOTB is a cell phone. You got guys saying that the MOTB is sin. You got guys that's teaching that they already in a new covenant. You're not in a new covenant yet. All right? You're not in a new covenant, but we're already in a new covenant. You got guys having a problem with Elder High Priest King Masha being King David reincarnated. They got a problem with that. Right? Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Hey, if you don't believe that, that's your opinion, keep it to yourself. But you don't have to go and set up a doctrine trying to debunk that. That's where problems come. That's not self-examining. Things like that. You want to come up against the elders and woke up against the elders, and you learn from them. So you only been in the truth 15 years, you don't know shit still. But obviously the Lord took the spirit away. It says to do those things which are not convenient. And we see the things that these individuals are doing which are not convenient, man. This is Psalms 51:11, and this is what King David said. This is Psalms 51:11. It says, cast me not away from thy presence. See, so King David begged and asked the Lord, cast me not from thy presence, right? And take not thy Holy Spirit from me. And take not thy Holy Spirit from me. So he was asking the Lord for mercy. When you read Psalms 51, read Psalms 51 from verse 1 all the way down. You'll see King David was asking the Lord for mercy. We have to do the same. That's what self-examining as well. Asking the Lord for mercy. Asking the Lord to keep you following the men of the Lord and learning and growing in the truth, because you don't know your lot. You do not know your lot. You don't know where your lot is. All right? You just playing it out. So you want to consistently ask Yahweh Shai for mercy, man. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. Yahweh Shai, have mercy on us, man. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on you. You know, if you're tuned into this lesson, pray the Lord have mercy on you, man. I pray for brothers all the time. You know, including myself, man, because you don't know, man. You don't know what your lot is. You don't. You really don't, man. This is 1 Timothy 4:12. It says, let no man despise thy youth. Be thou an example of the believers. And that's what self-examining. All right. I'm doing a lesson right now. All right. So I'm being an example to the believers. Now I got to, whatever I'm saying in this lesson, I must be doing off camera. I'm not supposed to just be saying this and then I'm not doing what I'm saying, because now I'm being a hypocrite. And that's the thing. If you're going to do lessons and you want to be this man of the Lord, you better be doing what you're saying you're doing. Because if you're not doing what you're saying you're doing, you're going to be brought out to the light. That's why you want to be really self-examining, really taking heed to the scriptures, really applying the scriptures to your spiritual walk, because this is a spiritual battle for you individually with yourself. You know, so you want to be thou an example to the believers. However you carrying yourself on camera, you better be that individual off camera, man. It says in word, in word, how you breaking this, just for example, how you breaking the scriptures down, right? Are you breaking the scriptures down, right, as how you were taught by the men of the Lord, all right, who are the elders of the Apostle Great Millstone? Are you breaking down Revelation 18 right? Are you breaking down Deuteronomy 28 right? If you breaking down Isaiah 49 right? Are these breakdowns? Are you breaking down Revelations 13 right? Are you breaking those things down correctly? You know, in word, right? In conversation, right? As you breaking the scriptures down, you explain it, right? This, for example, in charity, are you being there for brothers? When brothers in need of stuff, are you really sincerely giving it? Are you literally being a brother when you claiming to be a man of the Lord? In charity, are you, it don't even gotta be with money. It could be just supporting a brother, having a fellowship with him when a brother's feeling low, right? In spirit, in faith, right? It says in purity. So you gotta be thou an example to the believers, man. The person who you portraying to be on this camera, you better be that individual off that camera. So again, this is the month to really be examining, an increase of examining, okay? Really looking at the things that you need to work on in your spiritual walk, in the ministry. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. This has been on my spirit heavy. I was at the plantation, so, I just be sitting there thinking, I just be like, man, I'd be looking at other brothers' videos. I'd be like, man, that hit the spirit. That's the spirit, man. Even the elders, I'd be like, okay, Con, I gotta look at that. The water y'all washing my shy, man. John 13:15, it says, for I have given you, and this is what Yahweh Shai said. This is what Yahweh Shai did. Yahweh Shai is that perfect example for us how to be in a ministry. And that's how the elders and apostles of Great Millstone conduct themselves, right? Being that example how Yahweh Shai was. He's the perfect example, right? Now we have mentors and elders, right, which are following in the ways of Yahweh Shai. All right, Yahweh Shai speaks through his men. Luke 1:70, Matthew 10:20, right? John 13:15, for I have given you an example. See, Yahweh Shai is a perfect example. It says that ye should do as I have done to you. See, so you want to be not perfect, but you want to be that example, all right? You want to be an example to the believers, right? Yahweh Shai is a perfect example, right? That's why the Lord had men set up. And those men are the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. So, I'm in it there with that, beloved brothers. Again, man, this is the shifting year, man. All right, it's shifting month. All right, we just had the beginning of the Passover. It's going to be 7 days. So in these 7 days, while you're not eating anything, unleavened, right? Leavened, right? No doughy stuff. Do the examination, man. Really watch yourself in this ministry. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost, because there's a shifting that's going to be occurring. It's going to be a lot more individuals that's going to be brought out. And I pray that we're not those individuals. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost, man. All right, so Lord willing, that's edifying. I want to give our honors and glories praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash, and double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach Arazakah from the servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Till the next time I say, Shalom.